Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Hurricane Beryl devastating the Union Islands, where it could head next and who is preparing. And coming up, what a Boeing whistleblower is alleging the company did. Plus, how a family was alerted to a fire in their home.
At 77 degrees in Victoria, the sun is up. Some haze in the atmosphere today with a few clouds. No rain as of yet. I say yet because the rain is on the way. We'll talk about that coming up in your forecast.
Well, the Houston Astros inching closer to the top of the division, and the Victoria Generals send 7 to the TCL All-Star Game. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today it's the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, and the time is now 6:31 on our Thursday morning. Let's go ahead and get a look at our forecast with Trey.
Thank you so much, Carolina. And temperatures starting off in the 70s. They're 80 degrees. They're 80 degrees on average, as you see across the region, all the way from Yoakum area to Victoria down to the coast, Port O'Connor. The feel-like temperature, that's going to be the big story today. Southerly winds, see all the arrows coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. That keeps that humidity quite high. And by the time we get to 11 o'clock in the morning, 102 feel-like temperature in Victoria, 103 in Cuero. And everybody just about at triple digits coming up by the 2 p.m. hour, all the way from the coast to Goliad, Beeville, and Karnes City, Kennedy area. And it's 109 or 107 more than likely by 5 o'clock in the afternoon today. So please be careful out there and drink plenty of water and find some shade and take it easy. And pretty quiet on the outside currently. Some rain showers south of Louisiana coast. That's not associated with Beryl as of yet. But the big story is Beryl, of course. Let's take a look at the forecast track right here, right quick. Moving in now toward the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean Sea, over the Yucatan by Friday, and up in South Texas potentially near the Rio Grande Valley, coming up by about Monday or Tuesday or so. We'll be on the right-hand side of the storm circulation. That's the wet side, so we anticipate some good rainfall around here, which is something we need. Might be a little bit too heavy, too quick, though, which could lead to some flooding. We need to be watchful of that. We'll take a look at the percentages of rainfall and when days would have the best chances later on in the forecast to come. Make it a great day today. Happy Independence Day, and stay cool, everybody. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Hurricane Beryl caused widespread damage on St. Vincent and the Grenadines Union Island. Images obtained by Reuters show numerous damaged homes, along with debris from boats and other buildings. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves says Hurricane Beryl has left massive destruction as it passed through the islands, and confirmed 90% of houses on the island are severely damaged. Hurricane Beryl now making its way toward Jamaica as a powerful category, actually making its way toward the Gulf as a powerful Category 3 storm now. The City of Victoria is also closely monitoring Hurricane Beryl with the Victoria Office of Emergency Management to respond to the potential impact in our area. The city recommends having wireless emergency alerts enabled to receive updates from FEMA, the National Weather Service, and other key agencies. Residents can also sign up for alerts from Victoria's Office of Emergency Management by texting Alert Victoria to 99411. That's Alert Victoria with no spaces to 99411. Now to the record-breaking weather conditions for this holiday. Extreme heat impacting a large section of the country. Temperatures near 120 degrees in some areas. And the big story overnight, Hurricane Beryl still on the move.
Hurricane warnings issued for the Cayman Islands and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula as Beryl barrels northwest. Oil companies like BP and Shell are now evacuating some workers from rigs in the Gulf. Beryl brushed by Jamaica as a Category 4, winds up to 140 miles an hour. Tourists riding out the storm.
We went to the airport just to make sure, and every counter, just like they told us, they said, hey, every flight is full. You can't get off this island.
Jamaica's prime minister warned overnight the island has not seen the worst of Beryl's impact. Up to 9 feet of storm surge was expected, with flooding and mudslides. ABC's Faith Abube is in Montego Bay.
People who are in low-lying areas, flood-prone areas, some of them had to be evacuated. The winds came in strong and intensified throughout the day. You can still see some of the effect. The outer bands of Beryl still impacting us here in Montego Bay.
Beryl has claimed at least 7 lives in the Caribbean. Satellite images show the island of Carriacou in Grenada before the storm and after. Aid workers are racing to bring food to Union Island, where 90% of the homes were leveled. Beryl could impact Texas next week, possibly as a Category 1 hurricane. Meanwhile, the West Coast is facing one of the longest heat waves in 18 years. People from Arizona to the San Francisco Bay Area to Oregon could see record high temps. California's Death Valley could hit 130, which would set a record for the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth. Hot and windy conditions are fueling this wildfire in Northern California, forcing 26,000 people to evacuate, prompting the governor to declare an emergency. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
A former Boeing inspector, Merrill Myers, says scrap parts were used on the assembly lines at the 787 Dreamliner factory beginning in the early 2000s. Parts deemed unsuitable to fly were used to build aircrafts to meet production deadlines. Those parts range from small items like screws to more complex assemblies like wing flaps. He believes that the practice is still going on. Myers repeatedly emailed Boeing's corporate investigative team about the issue, but says the investigators failed to enforce the safety rules. The company has not disputed Myers' allegations. This week in Palacios, a police officer helped to alert a family about a fire at their home. It happened in the 800 block of Rem Avenue. 3 adults were inside the home and they all got out okay. Firefighters say the blaze burned for about 3.5 hours. The estimated loss is at $60,000. The fire is still under investigation, and the fire marshal asked anyone with information to contact them at 361-972-3605. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Memorial Medical Center held an internship program for students to experience the business-oriented side of healthcare, and children in Seadrift and Port O'Connor took part in a Texas floating classroom. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Let's take a look at our clock. It is 6:37 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. We take Dom Brubaker is up to in Ireland.
President Joe Biden met with more than 20 Democratic governors in what has been described as a candid conversation. I'm Christiane Cordero in Washington with how that went and how they see the path forward.
And tracking, of course, Hurricane Beryl in the Caribbean Sea near Cayman Islands, Category 3 storm. And it's continuing to lose some of its energy due to wind shear in the atmosphere, but not enough to kill it totally. It'll be reemerging in the Gulf of Mexico and impacting our weather by next week. We'll take a look coming up. Good morning once again, Trey Mining here, and the rainfall is going to be an issue coming up, not so much today or the next few days, but definitely by the first part of next week. Let's run this weather model into play here, and this is coming in by your Saturday, only small chances, probably the east of our area mainly. And Sunday, Monday, beginning Monday into Tuesday, we see the rainfall chances and the amounts really rev up, well over an inch throughout most of the Crossroads area, to about a quarter of an inch or so along I-10 points in the north as the barrel gets closer to the Texas coast, and it really revs up. Look at these totals coming in by the time we get to your Wednesday of next week. We'll have anywhere from 5 inches or maybe even 7-inch totals in some parts of the Crossroads area. Further south you go, the better the rain chances and the amounts will be. So pretty good soaking. Some of this could be falling a little bit too quick in some areas, causing some localized flooding, so we'll be watchful of the weather conditions on that time period there next week. In the meantime, try your best to stay cool as you enjoy your 4th of July holiday. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Now let's take a look at our sports with Zach.
The TCL All-Star Game was yesterday evening in Seguin. We had Team Texas and Team Louisiana. The Generals actually had 4 players in the starting lineup, but some pretty bad news for Team Texas. They were no hit in the All-Star Game. Now, Team Texas pitched pretty well themselves, only allowing the 3 runs. Good news for the Generals. Their offense in the regular season about as good as it gets, so hopefully they don't carry any of what happened last night into their regular season games. Now for the Houston Astros, who have been the hottest team in baseball. They nearly pulled off a 7-run comeback the other night, firing on all cylinders at the plate yesterday. Yordan Alvarez named an all-star starter. First pitch of the 6th inning, crushes yet another homer. And in the 7th inning, Altuve, who was also named an all-star starter at second base, lines one for a hit to drive in a run. The Astros put up 4 runs in the 7th, 3 runs in the 8th. Another offensive outpour. Final score 9-2. Houston got 5 2/3 out of Ronel Blanco, who gives up just the 2 earned runs, and the Astros bullpen was lights out. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. President Joe Biden is vowing to stay in the presidential race despite sources saying he's keeping an open mind. Biden met with a group of more than 20 Democratic governors last night in what was described as a candid discussion.
This morning, President Joe Biden is trying to shore up Democratic support after his debate performance 1 week ago raised questions about whether he's fit enough for a second term.
We were honest about the feedback that we were getting. We were honest about the concerns that we were hearing from people.
The president met with more than 20 Democratic governors last night to discuss the debate and the way forward. He told them he's staying in the race. Many governors doubled down on their support, citing Biden's accomplishments during his first term and their concerns should Trump be reelected.
We're worried because of the threat of a Trump presidency is not theoretical for governors.
The stakes could not be higher.
2 governors floated as potential replacements for Biden. Michigan's Gretchen Whitmer and California's Gavin Newsom were among those who attended in person. Both said they're sticking by Biden. Newsom writing, "I heard 3 words from the president. He's all in. And so am I." So far, 2 congressional Democrats have called on Biden to drop out. The latest, Congressman Raul Grijalva of Arizona, told the New York Times, if he's the candidate, I'm going to support him. But I think that this is an opportunity to look elsewhere. Biden told one ally he still believes he is the best candidate to beat Trump, but that he's keeping an open mind about the path forward. The White House has repeatedly blamed his debate performance on a cold and jet lag. In a new interview, Biden told a Wisconsin radio host he made a mistake by not performing better.
I screwed up. I made a mistake. That's 90 minutes on stage. Look at what I've done in 3.5 years.
The president is scheduled to sit down with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos in his first interview since the debate, airing in its entirety tomorrow night. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And now we head to Ireland as we continue following Don Brubaker on his trip. Wednesday morning began with a tour of Blarney Castle, where visitors had a chance to kiss the famed stone and receive the gift of gab. Shoppers then explored Blarney Woolen Mills store, picking up Waterford crystals, Irish sweaters, and other locally made treasures. Next, they visited the Rock of Cashel, discovering its history as a majestic fortress and It's a former assembly place for kings, which later became a significant religious center. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. The Miss Cuero Court welcomes their newest Ruby Begonia, and July 4th celebrations will be held at the Cuero Municipal Park from 4 to 8 p.m. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. And the time is now 6:45 on our Thursday morning. Still to come, what a payroll report revealed about private companies and their hiring. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Adriana. Happy 9th birthday, Adriana. We love you so much. And happy 9th birthday to Morgan. Happy birthday, Morgie Bear. From your whole family, we think you're amazing and you're the best firecracker that we could ever have on the 4th of July. And happy birthday to our very own sunrise meteorologist, Parker Cox. We hope you have the best birthday, and we can't wait to see you next week. Oh, there's Parker and Autumn. And happy birthday to Desire. Happy birthday to our sweet, smart, and beautiful granddaughter, Desire. Enjoy your day. And it's not only America's birthday, but it's also Post Malone's birthday. The chart-topping I Had Some Help singer is 29. And happy birthday to Granny G from Teresa. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More, and under Home you'll see KBU. Submit your birthday. The time is now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today. We'll be right back.
All right, good morning, everyone. Trey Mining here, and looking pretty quiet for the most part here in South Texas. And that's going to be changing in a pretty big way as we head toward the weekend, the first part of next week. And what's going on, of course, we have Beryl we're watching in the Caribbean Sea still. Category 3 storm. It's still beginning to weaken, and it's still on a weakening trend due to wind shear in the atmosphere in the northwestern Caribbean Sea. And over the Yucatan, which will zap the energy even more so coming up by your Friday tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico, maybe getting up to Category 1 hurricane status again by the time it gets to about Tuesday or so, but makes its way inland or so, near the Rio Grande Valley, just south of that, near Matamoros, Mexico, or right around that locale where pretty much confidently they say it's probably going to go. We're going to be on the right-hand side of the storm circulation, so that means a plentiful rainfall chance around here by the first one next week. Today, though, keeping it hot and humid, with high temperatures well into the 90s. Try your best to stay cool if you can, of course. Plenty of water, find some shade during the day because the heat index value is approaching 110 in the afternoon, 96 degrees in Cuero by 3 o'clock. And in Port Lavaca, we'll keep it 93 degrees or so as well. Hazy conditions to the atmosphere with partly cloudy skies, a few clouds hanging around. And Victoria, 95 degrees by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, partly cloudy skies. And extended forecast, well, now let's take a look at the fireworks forecast, why don't we? If you're going out to Riverside Park tonight, 85 degrees, warm and humid, dress cool, and drink plenty of water to make sure that you stay cool as you enjoy the fireworks show later on today. And for Independence Day, 96 degrees, and rain chances starting off, small chances, 30% chances Saturday, Sunday, into Monday. Better chances by the time landfall of Beryl takes place on Tuesday, likely near the Rio Grande Valley. And rain chances again on Wednesday, 60% chances. Alert days for those days for possible flooding in some parts of the region.
A judge has now weighed in on a controversial idea to ban employee non-compete clauses.
This morning, a court ruling that could affect workers across the country. A federal judge in Texas has temporarily blocked a government ban on non-compete agreements, which was set to take effect in September. Supporters of the ban, approved by the FTC earlier this year, argue non-compete agreements hurt workers, suppress wages, and stifle innovation.
It's clear that the freedom to leave your job and take another job is fundamental to a free and fair economy.
But a coalition of businesses sued, arguing the FTC overstepped its authority. And yesterday, the judge in Texas agreed. In response, the FTC is saying, "We will keep fighting to free hardworking Americans from unlawful non-competes." An estimated 30 million Americans, about 1 in 5 workers, are currently bound by non-competes, which typically prevent them from joining a competing business for a certain period of time.
Small businesses, startups are going to benefit tremendously for not having to work around non-competes.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you think non-compete clauses should be banned? Okay, let's take a look at this. 57% of you say yes, and 43% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from y'all. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. A new report from payroll provider ADP says private companies added 150,000 jobs in June. That's down from 157,000 in May and lower than 160,000 most economists were projecting. The total is the lowest monthly gain since January. The report comes ahead of the Labor Department's monthly jobs report coming out on Friday. That report is expected to show the addition of 200,000 jobs. A new study shows that many tattoo inks contain bacteria. The FDA looked at sealed ink used for both tattoos and permanent makeup. Researchers found about 35% of it to be contaminated. It made no difference if the label claimed the ink had been sterilized. Among the bacteria discovered were those that can cause acne, urinary tract infections as well. And this is the first study to look at anaerobic bacteria in tattoo ink. The Journal of Applied and Environmental Microbiology published this story. Still to come on Sunrise News to Know Before You Go, the number of lawsuits filed against this American rapper continue to climb. Another woman is accusing Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit. The 114-page complaint is from former adult film star Adria English, who says she worked for Combs from 2004 to 2009. In the complaint, she accuses Combs and other defendants of using her as, quote, a sexual pawn. This is the 9th lawsuit against Combs since November and the 8th directly accusing him of sexual assault. One of the cases filed by former girlfriend Cassie Ventura has been settled. An attorney for Combs denies the allegations from English and the other accusers. Minneapolis is working to prevent overdoses. The city installed a Narcan vending machine outside a fire station. Narcan is a nasal spray that can reverse an opioid overdose, but it has to be administered quickly, which means quick access is vital. The vending machine makes it available 24 hours a day, and the price is right too. It's free. Right now, it's the only machine of its kind in Minneapolis. More could come in the future. The Bidens are hosting an Independence Day celebration at the White House today. The Vice President and Second Gentleman are set to attend. Other guests include active duty military service members, veterans, and their families. Afterwards, President Joe Biden and the First Lady will join their family to watch the fireworks over the National Mall after sunset. And here in Victoria, we've got a fireworks show set for 9 p.m. at Riverside Park. That's the bicentennial 4th of July blast-off, and it'll all start this morning with a 5K and several events throughout the park, including golf, a fishing workshop, disc golf, and inflatables. So there's a lot to do at the park day to celebrate America's birthday. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at our forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, how's it going this morning?
Well, going pretty good actually on the outside. Going to the fireworks tonight. Well, expect about 85 degrees, warm and humid, no doubt about it. A few clouds in the sky, drink plenty of water and find some shade out there. Well, stay in your car in the air conditioning perhaps. And it'd be the best thing to do. And also for your day today, the high today, 96 degrees, triple digit heat index value. Same goes for your Friday. Saturday, introducing some rain chances, only 30% chance at the time. And then that'll take us through Monday, and rain chances increase 60% Tuesday and Wednesday as Beryl gets closer, probably making landfall somewhere near the Rio Grande Valley. And we'll be on the right-hand side of the storm with a lot of moisture coming in around the low pressure area into our region, so pretty good rainfalls by then. Could see several inches of rain before it's all said and done. Alert days for the potential for flooding on those days. In the meantime, first things first, try your best to stay cool. High temperatures in the 90s today, and enjoy your Independence Day and stay cool on the outside. Carolina?
All right, Trey, thank you so much, and thank y'all for joining us. Have a great and safe Independence Day, and we'll see you later tonight.